الحمد لله على إحسانه وشكرا له على توفيقه وامتنانه شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله توفيقا لشأنه وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله الداعي إلى رضوانه وبعد. Inshallah, today we're talking about Eid Al-Adhaa. What are the things we're supposed to do on this Eid day? Eid Al-Adhaa is one of the biggest celebrations celebrated by Muslims. And in Islam, we have three main Eid. There's the one we do weekly, and there's one we do after Ramadan. The other one we do it at the end of the year, based on the Islamic calendar. So, the one we do weekly is known as Yawm al-Jum'ah, Eid al-Jum'ah. That's for the Friday service. Then what we do after Ramadan is known as Eid al-Fitr. Then the other one we do at the end of the year, that's on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, is known as Eid al-Adha. So bi'idhnillah, I'll be talking about the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah. The one we do on the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, which is known as Eid al-Adha. So Eid al-Adha is mainly based on two aspects. Let me say two types, if I should say. It's based on two angles. It has two dimensions. So one of it is the salat aspect, and the other part is your slaughtering. So first of all, inshallah, let me talk briefly on the salat aspect. The salat aspect, before starting from maybe after the 9th day of Arafah, that's the day of Arafah, after the 9th day of the Hijjah, rather, after that day, starting from that night, you should start making your dua. You should do a lot of dhikr, because doing dhikr in the Hijjah alone is very rewarding. So you do a lot of dhikr. Now this morning, and it's now Eid al-Adha. You start increasing your takbirat. The dhikr that is most beloved for you to do in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah is La ilaha illallah, la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamdu wa ala kulli shay'in qadir. But from the first day of Eid, that's the 10th day of Dhul Hijjah, it is most preferable for you to do a lot of takbirat. Allahu Akbar, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, wa lillahi alhamd. And these also have aqsam. It has two types. There's one directed from the hadith. There's one that Imam Shafi'i advises us to do, rahimahullah. And the last one is the one of the Shia, and we are not accepted to do that. So it's advisable for you to do this takbirat. You continue doing it continuously. Then in your preparation, when you are preparing to go to the masjid, Prophet ﷺ said we should put on our best clothes. And based on a lot of narrations, even when we were talking about the Yawm al-Jum'ah, you see that the Prophet ﷺ really specified on putting on white. He really advised us to put on white clothes. Then it is said that when it's time for Eid al-Adha, the Prophet ﷺ do put on white, and he do add burda. That's garment of this kind. It is not compulsory, it is black, it can be brown or dark blue. That's a color that's having this dim color. It should not be something flashy. It should be a dark color. So it is very, very preferable for you to use these colors when you want to put on your burda. And it is preferable for you to put on your best clothes. If not white, if not burda, you should put on the best clothes you are having. Many people make these mistakes. Maybe they are not aware of it, that's why they're making a mistake. But now you are aware of it. Some people just put on maybe a t-shirt on top, or just their normal usual jalabiyah to the masjid for the Eid prayer. They'll be like, okay, what if it rains? What if this happens? Or what if that happens? Or, okay, I want to use these clothes to visit someone else, so let me just put on these casual clothes and just move on to the masjid. So this is not acceptable. You have to put on your best clothes to the masjid. Even if it worth billions, you should put on your best clothes to the masjid. That is what is sunnatic for us to do. Then after that, then for the male, it is very, very preferable after a ghusl, you should use perfumes. You should use perfumes, scent. The Prophet do this. He normally uses perfumes. So it is very preferable to use nice perfumes because it's good for the men to smell nice. And for the women, the Prophet said, لا تخرجن تلفا, لا تخرجن إلا تلفا. You should not, you should not come out with scent. Like you should not come out with perfumes. To not come out and your perfume. So it is not acceptable for the females to use perfumes. And when we're talking about you dress in the best way, let us try, we fathers, brothers, let's try to, and we should try to encourage our sisters, remind them, our sisters, our daughters, our mothers, our wives, let's try to remind them that you using attachments or using fingernails, this is not accepted Islamically when you're dressing. It's good for a woman to beautify herself as much as she wants. But you using attachments and all that, this is not acceptable Islamically. It is totally prohibited. Whoever wants to get this. So, and that's for the dressing aspect. And now, when you are leaving your house, or let's talk about those who are those that are asked to go to the masjid. Who is this Eid Al-Adhaa compulsory on? Who is it compulsory on to be on the Eid ground? This compulsory on everybody. Everybody, male, female, even if the female are on their periods, you should be on the Eid ground, but at the back of the scene, because you're going to Eid, attending the Eid, it is Sunnah Al-Qadha. It is a very compulsory Sunnah. Very, very compulsory Sunnah. And the Prophet said, فَمَنْ رَضِبَ عَنْ سُنَّتِي فَلَيْسَ مِنِّي. So if you want to be among the followers of the Prophet, it is very compulsory on you to follow his commands. So that is why it is very essential for us to be able to meet with this Eid. We should be able to attend the Eid. We should be able to go to the Eid ground. Except the old ones, or those that are sick, or someone that is paralyzed, that can't walk anymore. So no problem about that. The person can be expelled by the Rasul in a din yusra. The religion is ease, so you can't, these people are not forced to come to the masjid. But if it's for demonstrating women, maybe if they are on their periods, they can't observe Salah, it's fine. It is best for them to be at the back of the Eid ground. So they should witness it. Witnessing it alone is also, you are also having a reward for it. And the Eid is of two categories. You have the Nawafil aspect, the one you do Salat. The Salat aspect, and you have the Khutbah. Most people make this mistake. They will only follow the Salat aspect and they will abandon the khutbah aspect. This is not acceptable at all. If you, after observing the salat, you should wait and listen to the khutbah. Because the khutbah is also part of the Eid. Some scholars said that it is 4 rak'ah. So 2 rak'ah is the salat aspect and the other 2 is the khutbah aspect. So it is compulsory on us to wait patiently for the khutbah. So, and that is for we waiting. I don't have much time to start explaining the other aspects, so let's just move further. And there's some questions that come sometimes. People keep asking, Ya Sheikh, we missed the Eid prayer, how are we going to pay it? It is simple. If you should miss the Eid prayer, for example, you miss 1 rak'ah, that is, the Imam has already stand up from the first rak'ah, then there's no problem. You just have to pay 1 rak'ah and complete your Eid. Rak'atain. But if it should be that you miss the 2 rak'ah, but you are lucky to meet the last, maybe the sitting, when you were sitting on the tashahhud, there's the second, the jilsa tashahhud, you're able to meet that, mashallah. Then now you have to pay for 2 rak'ah. Even if it is before he made the salam. You have to pay 2 rak'ah. You pay your 2 rak'ah Eid, then you sit down and listen to khutbah. But if it's that you missed it all, maybe the Imam has finished the first salam before you were able to reach the Eid ground, then you have to pay 4 rak'ahs. And this is what the ulama has made us to understand. So that's for how you pay your Eid salat, how you pay it. Then there's something common. A lot of people, you want to wait for the Imam to finish slaughtering and show you the blood of his slaughter, before you go home and slaughter yours. This is not compulsory. It's not necessary. It is not necessary at all. The time for your slaughtering starts from after your Imam is done with the Salat. After the Salat, that's when the time for slaughtering starts. Then you can make your slaughter. But before that, it is not acceptable. But after that, you can now make your slaughter. It's not compulsory until the Imam starts slaughtering. No. You can make your slaughter after the Salat. So, when you're done with your masjid, when you're done with the masjid aspect, you're done with your salat, you're done with the Eid ground, you're about going home. The hadith says that when you're going home, when you're going to the Eid ground, you should follow, maybe if you follow street A to the Eid ground, when you come back, you should go through street B, so that you'll be able to greet others, and you should continue doing your takbirat. You don't just walk on the street talking, just laughing. This is not acceptable. It is very rewarding for you to make a takbirat. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, wa lillahi alhamd. This is what is most preferable for us to do. So after, and that is where we're going to stop for the Eid aspect. Let's stop there for the Eid aspect. Then now that takes us to the slaughtering, the Udhiyah. Udhiyah simply means the thing you slaughter, anything you slaughter for your Eid, anything you slaughter with the niyyah of Eid. So of the Eid al-Adhaa, that's what we call the Udhiyah. And the Udhiyah, there are four categories. You have 4 animals you can use for the Udhiyah. You can't use tuyul. You can't use chicken or turkey, ostrich and its likes, pigeon, dog. You can't use that for Udhiyah. You can only use these 4 animals. And the first one is a button, which is known as camel. Camel is the first one. And the second one is baqarah, that is cow. The third one is ram, kharuf, that is ram. And the fourth one is kabsh, that's what we know as goat. So it's of 4 types. You can just pick the one that is easier for you to do. If you're able, you're wealthy, Allah assisted you with enough wealth, you have a large family, you can make use of the camel. But if you can, then for the cow. If you can, then you should use a ram. Then if you can, the money you're having will only be enough for you to use goat, then mashallah, you can use that for your udhiyah. So that's the least animal you can use to gain your reward for performing udhiyah. So after that, we're talking about what type of animal are we going to use to do your udhiyah. The animal should be matured. The animal should be matured. It shouldn't be an animal that has any slight of illness at all. It shouldn't have any slight of illness. It should be very healthy. A pork is not animal. A massive animal that is healthy and thick, if possible. But if you are not able to get a thick one, then you can get a smaller one. But at least the animal should be up to the age that we asked to slaughter. The age, all these animals have ages for them. You have ages for each one of them. So they should attain the age of the time for slaughtering before you slaughter these animals. Even if it's of small size, no problem. If you can't get a larger one. So no problem, it is okay to do that. So it should be an healthy animal, no matter the size, but it should be healthy and should be matured. Then some people ask, what is the best among them? The most rewarding and the best among them is the ram. Ram, kharuf, is the best for you to use, the most rewarding. Because this is what the Prophet ﷺ used. So you should get a ram, a healthy ram. Don't just go and get one sick ram because they say the ram is 30,000 naira. Say ram is too expensive, let me just get a cheaper one. Who is sick? Just like that. Allah will accept it. No. You should get a matured ram for your udhiyah. So, and the ram, when Prophet described it, when it was described to us by scholars, he said the ram should be the type. When Aisha was describing the ram that Prophet ﷺ do use for his udhiyah, he said the eyes will be black. It's going to have black black, it's going to be, it can be a white ram, but the eyes parts will be dark. Then the foot will be dark too. The forelegs are going to have dark colors. Then it should be thick. This is the type of, it should have strong horns, not just a flexible, weak horn. The horn should be strong, straight. So these are the classification. This is how Aisha described and classified the animal, the ram was used for udhiyah, because ram is the best. So now we come to slaughtering. When you want to slaughter, you should slaughter placing your animal to the right hand side. You should place the animal to the right hand side and facing the Qibla. Then it is most preferable for you to slaughter the animal yourself. If you are a man, the owner of the family, you should be the one to slaughter the animal yourself. It is most preferable for you to do that. So if you slaughter the animal yourself, it's more rewarding and more preferable. So, and the dua to do before you slaughter your animal, just Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. You don't need to start doing niyyah, oh, this ram I'm killing is for me and my family and this and that. No, this is not necessary. Now we to cut, all these are not necessary. No. Just have the niyyah, Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, then you go on and do what you want to do. So, and that's for that. But if you are giving it to a slaughterer to slaughter it for you, it's best you cut the neck off yourself. Then after that, the slaughterer can do the rest. Then, when you want to pay your slaughterer, I said, let me make this point clear. I said you should rest on the right hand side. Why I said that is because when you make it to lie on the left hand side, the scholar says it's as if you are suffering the animal. And if you want to kill, you should kill perfectly. You should make it rest on the right hand side so that the animal will be addressed, to be balanced for you to kill. So that's why you are asked to make the animal lie on his right. So when you kill the animal, after killing and slaughtering and all that, when you want to pay the slaughterer, if someone actually assisted you slaughtering, maybe you took it to a butcher or a slaughterer that wants to assist you in slaughtering this animal, when you want to pay this person, you are not to pay the person from the udhiyah, from whatever, from the meat, cow, beef, or whatsoever that you killed. You should not pay the person from the meat. You should not say, oh, okay, once you are done, you just, once you finish with it, just take the right lab as your payment. No, this is not accepted. You should pay the person in cash. Then if you feel like, then you can give the person from whatever you want. You can give the person any amount, the amount you've agreed on. You can pay the person with that. This is what the Prophet did, and this is what we are advised to do. So after that, the other aspect is about how you share your slaughter. How you share your slaughter. You share your slaughter into two places. The hadith says, Kulu waddakhiru wa tasaddaqu. Kulu waddakhiru wa tasaddaqu. You should eat, you keep some part that's going to be enough for you, wa tasaddaqu, and you should perform sadaqah. So how are you to share this animal? The thing is, it should be thuluth. It should be 1/3. You share the animal into 3 parts equally. The first part should be the one you are going to eat for that day. The one you and your family want to use to enjoy yourselves. The second part should be the one you are going to keep. That is the one that will be enough for you for those 4 days or 3 days. I said by some scholars, some people said 7. But my favorite is 3 and 4 days. That it is the Ayyam Tashriq, or as we students do say sometimes, we say Ayyam Tashriq when we're in school. Because it's called Ayyam Tashriq because it is meant for drying. Because that's the time that the Sahabas do dry their animals. That's what the time the Sahabas do dry the meats that they've slaughtered. So it is preferable for you to keep your slaughter, your meat, the one that will be enough for you for those ayyam tashriq. Not just keep it that you want to use it for 1 year or so. So this is what we are asked to do. MashaAllah. So after that, after you have keep the one you're going to eat, you remove the one you want to use to cook for that day. The other one is you should keep the one you're going to share for your family. There's going to be enough for you. The one you're going to share, the one you're going to, there will be enough for you for those ayyam tashrik. Then the last one, what is the one you're going to use for sadaqah. It is very essential for us to do sadaqah. Let us try to give sadaqah. Let us try to share. You see, you are able, Allah made it easy for you to kill, to slaughter, and you have a neighbor that has not slaughtered, that does not have anything, so it is very good for you to keep some parts and you're going to share for the Jama'ah mosque or for the poor people around you. It's not compulsory they must be Muslim. If you're in a non-Muslim area, you can share to the kuffar. It is okay. It is fine for you to do that. But if you're in a Muslim area and you have poor Muslims, it's better for you to give the poor Muslims first, that we're not able to make sadaqah than before giving the kuffar, if it's remaining. So this is the best way to share your slaughters. And after saying this, I want to make a point. There's this significant point I want to give. When you say Udhiyah is very rewarding, Udhiyah, we know it is very, very rewarding for you to make Udhiyah. The reward is massive. That we can't even describe it. Allahu Akbar. Very massive. When you are able to make Udhiyah, it is very, very rewarding. Because the Prophet did it. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So when we say it is rewarding, that does not mean that you should get your Udhiyah from a haram source rather. It should not be that what you are getting your Udhiyah from is haram. It should be halal. Very, very essential. Let's try to make our Udhiyah halal. We should not use like money you get from fraud or from cheating one another. Maybe you say, okay, let me play this bet ninja. Oh, if this game enter, okay, this game enter, I can get like 170,000. I'm going to buy layer one. Let me used to do big boy when I get to the village. No, this is not acceptable. You are not to use a haram source for your udhiyah. It's not advisable at all. It is not okay for you to do it. And if you're a father and you have a son who's doing this, you should caution them. It is advisable for you to reject it so that they will know this thing you are doing is haram. Why I'm saying this is because, why the scholar said this is because this, most of the times, the most haram way people, especially this era we are, this present, this century we are now, is that a lot of people that are buying ram today, most of them are popularly known as these fraudsters, Yahoo boys. So don't use your Yahoo wealth to get ram. It is not advisable. It is not proper at all. So it is better for you to get your udhiyah from a halal source. So if you have a child that is doing this Yahoo or stuff like that, or a brother, it is advisable for you to reject it. Because it's not allowed for you to steal. Yahoo is stealing. Not allowed for you to use the money you steal to get your udhiyah. No, it is not accepted. Scholars, a lot of scholars, when they give this, it's not accepted for you to steal to get your udhiyah. It is preferable for you to borrow, lend. If you can get someone to lend you money, or you can get someone that, maybe the person that sells, you say, okay, give me the udhiyah. After so days, I'm going to pay you the money back. This is accepted. If with a shop, with a condition that if it will not be difficult for you to pay, if it's going to be easy for you to pay, mashallah, then you can, if it's going to be difficult for you to pay, you should leave it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you because you have the intention but you are not able. So, so the religion does not want to put pressure on you. If you can't, no problem. Allah will still reward you for it because you have the good intention to do it, but it was not possible for you. If it's not possible for this year, it will be possible next year, bi'idhnillah. If it was possible last year, it's not possible this year, Allahu A'lam. It's not compulsory for us to kill yourself, or you'll be like, oh, it's going to be a shame on me. They will say, I didn't make slaughter. It will me, chief imam, it will me, king of Susu place, or me that the first son, stuff like that. No, you don't have to kill yourself. If Allah didn't make it easy for you, then no problem, mashallah, you can do whatever you can. You can just, if it's chicken, just use to celebrate the Eid, or even if it's fish, celebrate the Eid with your family. Hada jaiz. Better than you stealing or getting your money from an haram source. So let us try to pay attentive to this. It is very, very essential. Then, borrowing money, if you want to borrow, you should borrow if you can pay. Let's take caution of this. Don't just take debt and start, and then you are unable to pay, because now I heard that the kharuf is very, very expensive. So let's say you see some of 200,000, you're going to take debt of 200,000 when your salary is 20,000. So this is like you are suffering yourselves. Just imagine how long it's going to take you to pay. So if it's something that you know that, oh, you're expecting so money, or you're unable to withdraw today, and you have to get your own hair done, okay, you know you are going to be able to withdraw later, maybe on Monday when you get to the bank, no problem, then you can get your own hair, you juice. But if you know it's going to be difficult for you to pay, it's better you leave it. And after this, Bismillah, I'd like to wish everyone happy Eid in advance, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to extend our life to tomorrow, and we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us good health and grant us wealth so we'll be able to afford udhiyah. Wa subhanallahi wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah aqulu ma tasma'un subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wassalamu ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Salamu Allahi alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.